a whole notice board on that paper?
High class paper for high class class.
Huh? High class paper for high. But end up you're just going to put low class notices onto your high class paper. Isn't it? Okay, never mind. Just. Okay, to be very honest, I mean I've been in school 7 years. 7 years of form class. Every year put no paper. Then what do you do with the paper at the end of the year? Throw away, right? Isn't it very wasteful?
Oh, give me that.
What's the purpose?
Decoration.
To beautify. I don't know. Yeah, I just find it a waste. Okay, I think your money could have been better spent elsewhere. For example, buying 10 year series. Yes. Okay, our own sheet from yesterday. Okay, where's the own sheet? Okay, I hope you managed to do the question 15 and also question 16. Alright, so let's wrap that up today and check our answers. Then we can move into chapter 2. No? Our aim is to finish this textbook by your mid-year paper. Yeah, so actually this year we don't have much chapters. We only have like what, 5 chapters. Yeah, so our aim is to finish this whole book, all the 5 chapters before mid-year exam. So that second semester you solely just be revision already. Okay. So therefore your mid-year exam is going to be a full paper. Okay, that means all topics are going to be tested from your set 1 all the way to set 4. Yeah, so now that you all know, time to revise. Okay, of course, I mean when it comes to set 1 stuff, we integrate it into many of your set 3 and 4 stuff as well. Integrate, your English word integrate. Okay, what is the... Okay, let's check question 15 first. Alright. First one. Part I. P union Q prime. Okay. So let's just go down the road. Joseph. Shade everything. Agree? Shade everything? Yeah? Yes. Shade everything. Okay. And then you learn it's obvious today. Okay. Perfect. What is shaded? What is not shaded for part 2? The outer ring between P and Q. Okay, so this one. Does everyone agree? Yeah? I'll just go very fast now. Part 3. Okay, we want to shade P union Q complement. So, what would it be, Joshua? Everything except Q.
That's on top one.
Except P. So everything outside of P. Okay, so everything outside of P, yes. Because P union Q is strictly speaking P itself. Okay, if you like to think of it that way, P union Q is actually P itself, so P complement is what we're looking at. Okay, so P union Q is equals to P prime. It's not about simplification like what I taught you yesterday, because if I want to bring in the complement sign, it is in fact P complement intersect Q complement. Okay. Next, part 4. P intersect Q complement. What will you shade, Carissa?
everything.
Okay, everything except Q. Do we agree with that? Okay, so everything except Q. Right, so P intersect Q is actually Q itself. So we're looking at Q complement. Okay, or in other words, we could also think of it as trying to simplify this set notation. It is actually referring to P intersect union Q, P complement union Q complement. Okay. Next, part 5. Chloe, what do you have? Everything except Q. Okay, so your shading should look like this. Okay, which is actually the same as part 4, what we did earlier on. Chpt, what do you have for this? Sorry? The universal set without the P and Q. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay. Then after that, what about part 6? Bernice? P only? P without Q? Okay. Alright. Then after that, what about part 8? Kelly, what do you think? Nothing. Do we all agree with that? Nothing? Okay, yeah. So we can leave it blank. So sometimes blankness is an answer. Okay? So I guess that will only happen for Venn diagrams. That you can leave your answer blank and still get a mark. Okay? So question 16. Emily, what's your answer? Okay, everything except Y. What about part 2, Nico? Sorry? Okay, the circle X only. Agree? Joanne? Next one? Universal set?
X and Y blank, everything.
Okay, X and Y blank, everything else shade. Okay. Okay, so that's the answer for part 3. Then, Julia, what do you have for part 4? Shade everything. Okay, the reason is because in this case for part 4, we are looking at X intersect Y. X intersect Y is an empty set. So the complement of empty set will actually be everything. Okay. Then after that in part 5, what will we have, Jared? Shade everything. Okay, so X complement is everything outside of X. Y complement is everything outside of Y. Then after that, we are unioning everything together, so therefore it's everything. Then after that, what about part 6, Anson?
Everything except for X and Y.
Okay, everything except X and Y. So in this case, you're looking at the complements of each of the two sets, and then we want the intersection. So that will be everything outside of X and Y. Okay. Then Zhen Quan, can you give us part 7? Shade X only. Okay, so shading X only, we will have this. Reason because we're looking at X complement union Y. So X complement is outside of X. Union Y is already outside of X complement. Okay, so X complement will just be X. Right? Okay, you need not actually go through this kind of steps, right? You can of course draw it out step by step and then after shape. That's fine as well. Okay, then part 8, last one, Amanda?
That's Y.
Just Y. Okay, so in this case, we are looking at X union Y complement. So X union Y complement is actually Y complement itself. So complement of complement, you will get Y. Okay, so I hope you are able to get the answers for this entire worksheet. and I hope you also enjoy this activity. Next, okay, let's look at our textbook questions again. I got two questions I want to run through. Exercise 1C. Notice just now when I did some of the question, I simplified the notation by scaling down, okay, what is the exact set that the notation is referring to. Okay, so in this particular question, we are trying to simplify the notation wherever it's possible. So we're looking at just any kind of universal set and any kind of set, okay, assuming that A is a part of this universal set. So if we have A intersect the universal set, okay, what does that actually simplify to? You can think of it in terms of your Venn diagram. Okay, if I have the universal set and then we have set A. So we want to look at the intersection that actually simplifies to A only, right? Okay. Then next, what about A union the universal set? What would that leave us to hang on, let's find someone else, okay? Kezia, can you give us what is A union the universal set going to be? Sorry? Sorry, I can't get everything. So it will just be the universal set. Okay? Then in part 3, if I have A intersecting an empty set, what would that give us in the end? What do you think? A intersecting the empty set. What would it be? Nothing. So therefore it will be a empty set. Right? Okay, so if you have something and intersect with nothing, it will still be nothing. Okay? What about A union or empty set? What would that give us? Alia? I guess. What is A union? Union means adding it together. Adding an empty set. It will just be A, right? Okay. If you look at your textbook, right, question 18, it says that if A is a proper subset of B and A intersect C is equals to an empty set, you want to simplify certain things, okay, there is actually a number of possibilities when we describe, okay, the sets in this manner. So I want to scale down our possibilities by adding one more condition whereby C is a proper subset of B. Okay. cards. Let's try to understand the question first in terms of how it looks like in the diagram. I'll also explain why is it that I want to add in this condition. Okay, so first of all, we are told that A is a proper subset of B. So we expect A to be inside B. Okay? And then after that, it says that A intersect C is equals to empty set. Okay? So could you tell me where would C actually be? Will it be inside B? Will it be inside A? Will it be outside of A? Outside of B? How would you place C as a set? If we ignore this condition first, this one that I added in. Okay? If we ignore this one that I just added in, where do you think C would be? What do you think? You put outside of B. Okay. So we just say put it outside of B like this. Okay. Do you agree that this drawing itself, okay, fulfills the black colored conditions here? That A is a proper subset of B and there's no intersection. Okay, intersection is an empty set. So this is fine. Is there another possibility? Okay, C can actually be inside B but doesn't intersect A. That is also possible, right? Okay, so this is also fine. So actually, in the question that is given in the textbook, okay, it creates these two possibilities. But I don't want to have to discuss both possibilities. Okay, I want to scale it down. Right, so I want to just talk about C being a proper subset of B as well. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this diagram. Yes? Comma, yeah. Okay. So I'll just look at this diagram when we discuss the question. Okay, so with this diagram, let's look at simplifying all these notations. We have A intersect B. So A intersect B, how will we simplify this notation? It's not done this, okay. Knowing what will A intersect B actually equals to? It will be A, right? Yes. Okay, so A intersect B is equals to A. We agree? Then, what about A union B? If I want to have A union B, what is it going to be simplified to? Okay, any guesses? Everything except for C. Do we agree with that? So everything except for C. That means how do I then simplify this notation? So it will remain the same. I'm not asking for shading, I'm asking to simplify the notation. So what he suggested was that the shading looks like this, everything except for C. So in this manner, so there's no notation, simpler notation to define this. So does it mean that it will remain the same? Sorry? A intersect B. A intersect B, we said that it is equals to A. So, but A itself, isn't it just like that? What exactly is A union D? So you realize there's something not right? Okay. It is okay if it's the same, because the question said impossible, right? But are we very certain that it will remain the same? Any inputs from anyone else? Carissa, you look like something on mind. Sorry? Part 2, yes, we're talking about part 2. Can you see? C prime. Okay. So Carissa suggested C prime. Okay, so the complement of C to describe this. Okay. C prime does accurately describe this situation. Okay, assuming that if you see B as a universal set of some sort. Okay, it does accurately reflect. But my question is now, is this shading over here correctly representing A union B? Junyang said shake it. So what should it be then? A union B, how would you have shaded it? Sorry? I couldn't. Everything. Okay, so shade everything. Okay, so do we agree with that? That if I have A union B, so A, C, B, because A is actually this part, right? B is actually the entire this oval. If you're talking about union, it means that so long as it is shaded at least once, we got to include it, right? So therefore, looking at this diagram here, A union B is actually the entire of B. So the answer should actually be referring to the set B. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Next, part 3, we want B intersect C. So what could we simplify this to? Say C. Do we agree that it is going to be C? Okay, because B itself intersecting C, this is the overlap. This is going to be the set that is going to end up being shaded. Okay, at the end, so it will be equal to C. Okay. Now what about part 4? A union C. What will A union C become? Let's go one round back. Joseph, A union C. Is there a way to simplify it? A union C will just have to be A union C. Agree? Do we agree with this? A union C is equals to A union C. Okay, yeah? So A itself is here, C itself is here. If you're taking it together, it will just be both of it. There's no other simplification of it. Okay? We're trying to simplify, we're not trying to complicate it, so we'll keep it that way. Now, let's go to the slightly more difficult or more complicated ones. Okay? So part 5, we have B union C intersect A. Let's look at the ones in brackets first. B union C, what is it referring to? So what does B union C refer to? The entire thing, the entire of B. Do we agree? B union C, because C is here. B is this entire thing. So this will be our B union C, so it will be B intersect A. So I replace, okay, maybe I just present my answer this way. Okay, B union C is B intersect A. So now we have everything ready, and we want to intersect A. So to finally simplify this notation, our answer would be, Bobby, A. Okay? Any questions? Right? I give you some time. I want you to do the last 3 yourself. Okay? See if there's any way to simplify the notation. Okay? Give you about 5 minutes to do.
we all done?
Are we all done? Okay, so let's just get our answers out then. What is B intersect C then intersect A? What does that simplify to? Joshua? An empty set. Do we all agree that B intersect C intersect A is an empty set? Okay, great. So B intersect C itself is C. C intersect A is actually there's no overlap, so therefore, okay, let me jot okay. It will be an empty set. Okay. Next, what about A union C then intersect B? Adia, what do you have? Your answer is A union C. That's all? Okay. Do we agree that it is A union C? Okay, so let's check. A union C is A union C itself, and then we want to intersect B, it will still remain as A union C. Okay, so this will be the answer. Sorry, this B. Okay, then after the last one, A intersect C union B. Okay, so what would we get, Amanda? You look at me like you want answer, so yeah, give answer. B, okay. Do we agree that it's B? Yes, right? So A intersect C is an empty set. Empty set union B will be a B itself. Okay? Any questions? No one? Great. Okay, let's now move on to chapter 2. So with this we are done with homework. Okay, exercise 1C. Question 7, 9, 11, 13.